everybody, welcome to the Real Games Cast. I'm your host, Mitch Smith, here with the most majestic name in the business, Jordan Augustus Dean, and I can't think of a new nickname for him yet, Tristan Schuler, but I'm going to keep working on that. I'll tell you that right now. The Real Games Cast is a weekly episodic show where we bring you 3 random topics of discussion each and every week within the realm of television, movies, comic books, or video games, but it's mostly video games because that's all we really talk about here. Guys, we partnered last week with DQTOR Gaming. It was an interesting week for us. The partnership lasted all of about 24 hours, where our content was exclusive to them. Now, we have broke away due to creative differences, and we are, again, our own separate entity. We have since launched realgames.org, our official website, which you can see on the TV behind us, throughout the entire show. So if you guys want to see our content, in particular, Schuler's review of Dying Light, which has been really well received, you can check that out at realgames.org. My review from last night's Uno episode of Better Call Saul, or Jordan's review of the mid-season premiere of The Walking Dead. You can check that out at realgames.org. Please go visit and support us. We've almost hit 1,000 views on our new website already. So if you guys can keep going, supporting us, clicking on articles, just giving us hits, that's always really appreciative. And we appreciate the help. You can also tweet us at Real Games Cast. You can like us on Facebook, facebook.com/realgames. Support us at Patreon, patreon.com/realgames. And finally, you can watch us play video games on Twitch 3 nights a week at twitch.tv/realgamescast. Guys, is there anything you want to tell the audience before we get started with the show this week? Any kind of thank yous to the people who's supporting us?
Thank you for everyone who's been going to our website and viewing our articles. I think you told us like Thursday that we had over 100 views for that day alone.
Almost 200. We almost hit 200 unique visitors that day. So that was really cool.
Yes, thank you.
Also, guys, we want to announce to you that beginning next week, we're going to introduce a 4th topic to the show, which will be fan choice. So if you guys want to hear us talk about anything that's on your mind, please tweet it to us or tell us on Facebook. Send us an email. You can get all our contact info at realgames.org. We will pick one topic each and every week that will be fan produced, and we will hash it out for 15 minutes, just like we do every other topic we do on the show. So that's going to be really cool. Getting your perspective on what you want to see on the show. If that evolves, maybe one day that 4th topic will just switch to a mailbag, where we may just answer your questions and kind of talk out more than one. So that's some of the new things we're talking about doing here at Real Games, and we're really excited about what's going to be now episode 3 of the Real Games Cast. If you want to check out any previous episodes, episode 1 in its entirety is on youtube.com on our channel. Episode 2 is also on YouTube, broken down topic by topic, and the entire episode is available. So the entire episode is also available on realgames.org under the tab The Real Games Cast. So you can check out the entire episode, or if you want it broken down topic by topic, that is available for you for your convenience. We're going to go ahead. We're going to jump into the show. Jordan Augustus Dean, most majestic name in the business. What are we talking about today?
My topic today is adaptations of games that you would like to see turned into a movie or a TV show.
Okay, so video games that we want to see adapted into movies or television, right?
Yes.
Okay. Schuler, you got anything?
Okay. I'm going to go with Dead Space.
Okay.
As an HBO TV series.
Right.
Basically, the first Dead Space spells it out for you. It's got 12 chapters. There you go. There's a mini-series.
There's 12 episodes.
There's 12 episodes right there, one per chapter. And they can leave off with an epic cliffhangers. And it's got to be HBO because it's got to have tons of violence.
Well, I mean, Dead Space 1 ends with a pretty good cliffhanger anyway. You know, obviously we're not going to spoil that for anyone, but well, hell, if you've not played it by now, you're probably going to.
I have not played it.
2008. If you're 7 years late to the ball game, then you're just too late.
I'm too late then.
You've not played Dead Space.
I've not played Dead Space.
Jesus Christ.
That's what you're doing after this. You're playing Dead Space.
Watching the cinema.
You're not watching something.
Well, you need to either way. You need to play Dead Space.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think Dead Space would be a really good adaptation. I was talking on the internet today on Reddit. I would like to see Infamous adapted into a movie directed by Jon Favreau. I think that would be really cool. Favreau directed Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2. You saw in Iron Man 2 what it could do with a lightning-based character with Whiplash.
And hopefully have more emotion.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like Cole's story is set up well for a movie.
It is.
You know,
It just depends. Which route will he go? Will he go with an evil route or?
Well, I would feel with
for the sake of appealing to audiences, I would think they would go with the
hero,
good, the hero karmic route.
What if they mix them up?
I mean, you could do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
and let the fans. If it was a TV show, let the fans pick which.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Like at the big outcomes, karma events.
That would be too difficult to do because you have to screenwrite this as a season. You know what I'm saying? You have to write this in advance. So
what if they wrote this?
I mean, the only show that I've ever seen that was wrote the week that it aired is South Park.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, with South Park, there's very minimal animation there.
The BBC could probably do it because I mean the British TV shows they're always they're 3 episodes a year.
Right.
That air 6 months apart from each other. So.
An hour and a half each.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
What if they wrote the script, like they wrote it all out for the good, they wrote it all out for the evil, and then every week they said, okay.
But you got to film that.
Yeah.
So are you going to film basically 2 seasons of the show at once?
And
then alternate episodes depending on fan choice? I mean, it's a really fun idea, but logistically, I don't think that would work.
Too much money for a TV show.
Right. It's not just money, but it's a lot of work. I mean, you're talking about taking an actor that would play Cole away from his family 6 months at a time anyway to film 1 season. If he's got to do double the work, he may never go home. He may be stuck 10, 11 months out of the year filming this one season, which would inevitably delay a second season because he's going to want to be away. So logistically, that really doesn't work. Jordan, what's your idea for something you want to see adapted?
Red Dead Redemption.
Would you do that as a TV series or as a movie?
It'd be a movie.
Okay.
You never really see as many westerns in today's theaters than you would have 30 years ago.
It's died quite a bit.
And what few westerns that have come out recently, Django Unchained, the True Grit remake, have been amazing.
Right.
And I feel like westerns still have
310 to Yuma, another one.
Yeah. I feel like westerns still have that fire in them. That like they still have the potential to have great movies.
Westerns now are becoming a novelty in a sense. You don't see them very often, so when they happen, everyone's like, "Oh man, this must be really good."
Yeah.
Well, I believe when they were there was over like 200 Western movies in 1 year.
Well, hell, John Wayne made what 500 movies in his lifetime.
People like to compare the Marvel and the DC Comics superhero movies nowadays to Westerns, but honestly, in terms of numbers, nothing has come even close to matching Westerns back in this whenever they made them. They lasted for forever, about 20, 30 years.
But every Western also that took place that you filmed in the 60s and 70s, they all followed that same central storyline. There was really nothing special about them. You had the same actors and actresses and extras and everybody doing the same thing over and over and over. They just called it something different. They made a new movie.
Yeah.
I mean, John Wayne, did he ever play anybody but that one central kind of character he played? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was always that hardened cowboy. But I mean, every Western was about some hardened cowboy going through some kind of stupid struggle.
Yeah.
With terrible acting.
And then taking out the bad guys in the end, become the sheriff of the town.
Right. But modern Westerns, 310 to Yuma was a fantastic movie when it came out. Christian Bale and Russell Crowe were amazing in that movie.
Chemistry was perfect.
Yeah, it was. Bale's really good on his own. Mm-hmm. But that's a weird role for him. It's a weird role to see Christian Bale in a Western. But he pulled it off so well. Django
was phenomenal.
Was not only a phenomenal movie, but it's completely original. Yeah. How many Westerns have you seen with a black lead character? None.
Yeah. He becomes a bounty hunter. Not a cowboy or an outlaw.
Right.
A bounty hunter.
That was a very original take on that genre, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm not a Tarantino fan. I do not like Quentin Tarantino at all. I don't like his movies. I don't like when he acts in them. I think he's atrocious.
That's a topic for another day, I guess.
His Australian accent is absolutely horrible in Django in the little scene he's in. I do not like Tarantino, but I love Django Unchained.
Yeah.
Because Jamie Foxx is incredible. Leonardo DiCaprio should have got a freaking Oscar for that movie if it wasn't for Christoph Waltz, who was even better than him. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, if you make a good movie, people are going to watch it.
Yeah. Well, me and you I mentioned it yesterday about how Leonardo didn't get an Oscar for that movie.
Right.
When he probably should have. But if you look at it like he should have got an Oscar, that would be taking away from Christoph Waltz from his Oscar, who also deserves it.
How many movies do you watch where when you come out of the theater, you think, I saw at least 3 Oscar-worthy performances right there.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 if you look at the directing. 5 if you look at the screenwriting.
Yeah.
You know, and Django was a strange movie in that sense that when you came out, he was like, he deserves an Oscar, he deserves an Oscar, he deserves an Oscar, they deserve Oscars.
I think another one that you mentioned, I haven't personally watched it yet, but Fury.
Fury was good, yeah.
You said that a lot of people deserve some kind of award for that.
I thought Logan Lerman and Shia LaBeouf both deserved at least buzz. I'm surprised Shia LaBeouf didn't get nominated.
I'm surprised that Brad Pitt didn't.
I can understand why Brad Pitt didn't. Because,
given the marketing around that movie.
Yeah. Well, you also got to look at the other nominees from. That lead acting category is stacked.
Right. It is. I agree. But back on the topic, more video games that we want to see adapted into comics or television. Is there anything that's not been said that you guys want to put in there?
Well, I'm looking forward to the Uncharted movie.
Yeah.
Assassin's
Creed. I'm really looking forward to Assassin's Creed with Michael Fassbender.
And have you seen that? Have you noticed that these games are starting to come out, and just now we're starting to get the movies for them, and they're not animated movies anymore. Like Dead Space, of course, has movies, but they're animated. Now
how long has it been since Assassin's Creed came out? 2007, and Uncharted was in 2007.
Yep.
6, 7, 8. Yeah.
Yep. BioShock, I think would be set up really well in a movie universe. There was actually that almost happened. Concept art leaked like maybe a month ago from the original planned BioShock movie that never happened. Mass Effect is being developed into a movie. I wish it would be developed by HBO into some kind of TV series.
Because that can't be, even with 3 movies, that's taken basically Lord of the Rings, put it in space and giving it way more content. That's going to be 3 movies.
Yeah.
You're taking a 50, 75-hour game and trying to compact it into 2.5 hours.
For three games.
Yeah, and I mean that typically that's why video games don't work as movies. You look at Doom. That was a terrible movie.
Yeah.
It was awful. Others that have Max Payne.
Prince of Persia.
I got so bored with Max Payne.
No, it was horrible. It's such a great video game, but God, it was such an awful movie.
Prince of Persia wasn't too bad, but it could have been a whole. It didn't have the feel of the games. Because in the games, you're cutting people's heads off.
Right.
And it was very. What was it? Disney Hyperion that developed it.
Something like that. It was something confusing.
Toned it down. I was like, oh, you can't do that with Prince of Persia.
And then you look at Max Payne, and you got a guy like Mark Wahlberg playing Max Payne, and he was terribly miscast. And what movies do you think is set up to be the easiest? I'm sorry, what video games do you think is set up to be the easiest adaptation to the movie or television universe?
Any game with a zombie in it.
Sure, we're always taking the easy way out.
You said your question was, what is the easiest adaptation you can take?
That's true.
Dead Island. I mean, just take any zombie game and rewrite it for a movie, and there you go. You got it.
I think the Halo games were made with kind of like a backwards mentality of that they want this to be a movie. So
Isn't Microsoft working on that? Isn't that supposed to be coming?
They've been working on a movie since Halo 2 came out.
But I mean,
that movie evolved into a TV show, and that evolved into another TV show.
Oh, but they have that live action show.
Yeah, the Forward Unto Dawn.
Yeah, but I mean, at E3 2013. When they revealed the Xbox One, didn't they reveal a Steven Spielberg produced Halo TV show?
They have it. It's supposed to coincide with Halo 5.
And then there's also supposed to be one directed by Ridley Scott coming out soon too.
Well,
So they got it. But
Neil
it's just not
Blomkamp
big.
from District 9 was supposed to direct the original Halo movie,
Yeah.
but that obviously fell
But
apart.
just the cut scenes in that game are made up like a movie, especially Halo 4. You can't tell what's cutscene and what's not live action.
All right.
When I first played Halo 4, I thought they actually filmed the cutscenes.
Wow. All right. So that's all we got, guys, for topic 1 this week. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back in just a moment with topic 2 for this week's episode of the Real Games Cast.